So here's our project so far. Just added a few other elements, but I think this looks great. We can position this. I made this to show off the frosted glass effect, just kind of some random elements. This doesn't really mean anything. It's not really a design per se, but just kind of a collection of elements you can show off. So let's do animation because this looks okay. You can really see the frosted glass, but frosted glass looks really great when you can have movement and kind of show how it changes live as you move it across. That always looks really cool. So let's go ahead and animate this. So I go over animation and all this stuff in some of my other classes in detail. So we're just going to kind of do some very basic stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this artboard right here and I'm going to duplicate it. So I duplicated my artboard and I'm going to go up to prototype. So this is design mode. That's where I do all my design work. Over here is prototype mode. And this is where you link everything together and make it like a live workable site that has animation. So this is going to be super duper basic. So we're going to select the artboard, the first artboard, and we are going to link it. So we're going to take this little icon right here and we're going to link it right over. You can link it anywhere on the artboard and it's going to link up together. So when you go into this link, and you have to be in prototype mode to be able to see this, we're going to be able to select that link and we are going to make it auto animate. That's how we're going to get the animation to be nice and smooth. Auto animate. And so right now we're going to go down to easing and let's just try for right now. I love the way ease in and ease out works. So ease in is an animation that's going to slowly start the animation and slowly end it so it looks really smooth. It doesn't look very harsh. So that's all we have. That's all we have done so far. So now we have two different states. So this is the first state and this is the second state. So it's going to start off in a certain way and it's going to end up at another way. So what we're going to do is we're going to change and show how it's going to animate. So I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to move this triangle. Let's go back into design. You have to go back into design mode. And I'm going to just turn this triangle just to show you how this works. That's all I'm doing. Right, just moving kind of things around here. That's it. Just move the two triangles. You go back to prototype mode. We're going to play this out. We're going to select this first artboard. We're going to play it and it's going to go from this state and it's going to animate it to get back to that original state. So let's click on play. Let's see what we have. We're going to go ahead and click and you can see it animate. And we don't have it connected back, so it just animates once to that state and stays there. So you can have it cycle back. So I can have the second one selected and you can see this little arrow. You can actually go back to the first state and you can go to type and you can go down to previous artboard. So what it's going to do is on the tap, so that's the trigger, is you click, it's going to cycle right back to the previous artboard. So you're basically making a loop. So you have this state that goes to this state of animation and then you have this connecting back to the previous artboard. So that seems complicated, but I have some lessons that goes over animation in Adobe XD. To this play icon right here, let's play it out. And right now the trigger, which is how you start these states, is a tap. So I have to click my mouse. It's going to do the first one. I'm going to click it again. It's going to go to the previous artboard and snap back. To make this where I don't have to tap it, to make it time initiated and not just tapping, we're going to go up here to trigger. I'm on the first artboard and let's just have it start at a certain time. And it could start right away, so 0 delay, and that's it. And you can make the duration a little bit longer, the animation, so we can extend that out. Right now it's like 1/3 of a second. So we could do a full second to make the animation more lengthy. And we're going to click on the second artboard and we have the cycle back option here. So instead of tapping, we're going to just make this a time as well, and it's going to be immediately. So it's going to go from one state. I'm going to click on this so you can kind of see what I have here. It's auto animate. And then we have the second state and we dragged it back around and it is previous artboard. So it's should be just one cycle. I shouldn't have to touch anything because the trigger is now just time. So I'm going to click on the play button and let's see. It automatically starts playing. It goes from one state, it goes back to the previous artboard, goes to one state. So you have this kind of cycle going on of animation. We can, of course, animate more than just the triangles. Now we can go to this first state and we can, because everything's going to end up at the final layout that we have. So we can change this, anything really. We can change the buttons. And we need to go make sure we're back in design to be able to make any kind of movement or changes. Prototype mode's just for linking things up. So we can have the buttons go like this. We can have our slider go back and forth. So all we have to do, I'm going to hold down Shift and drag just so it stays in line. And I'm just going to bring it all the way over to the front. And let's change all of these too. Let's make it look like they're going up and down. All right, so you can really see that frosted glass effect. And we can make this even more dramatic of an animation. So we just changed some more things. We're not changing this state. This is the state that it's going to revert to. So let's click on the first artboard, go up to our play button. Whoa. So you can see that's pretty dramatic with the buttons. So I can just tone down those buttons a little bit. So let's go back. It flipped it all the way around the other side. I wasn't expecting that. So perhaps we can, instead of flipping it to the left, let's do the right. Don't know if that's going to change anything, but let's click on play. There we go. That's a little bit more smoother. And of course we can make it even a longer animation if we click back here on the top of the artboard name. And we need to make sure we're in prototype. It's hard to remember sometimes to flip back between. So I'm going to go to prototype mode to make any edits to the animation. And if you ever wonder like what my connections are, you can click on your name, your artboard, and it's going to show your linkage. And I can click on the top and move my artboards around, and it might make it easier to see kind of the transition. So this is a transition and this goes right back. So I'm clicking on the first artboard, and right now I have 2 seconds, but you can type in anything you want. You can make it be 2 seconds instead of 1 second, and we can play it out and see what it looks like. It's a little bit slower, kind of looks a little bit nicer now that I slowed down the animation. And what's great is there's more than just one type of animation. There is ease in, ease out, which is kind of what I like to do when I do video editing. I use a lot of ease in, ease out. It's just something I almost always do with all of my elements when I do video editing. And video editing software, super duper popular format, but there's snap, wind up, bounce. So if we do bounce, it's going to have a little pop, a little bounce to it. So click on play. So see how it has that little bounce? So all I did was change the transition. I kind of like bounce, it's interesting. I wish you can change the bounce strength. I wish it wasn't so bouncy, but you know, maybe in future updates, Adobe XD will add more transitions or more animations. So this one's wind up. So it's kind of wind up. It's going to go faster in the middle of the animation and slow down toward the end of the animation. So that has a really nice, almost like a ticking clock kind of motion. It's really nice and calming. All right, so let's keep it on wind up. I kind of like how that looks. So let's play it one more time. What is great about Adobe XD, I can share this link with other people if I wanted to have it on a portfolio. But what I like is this ability to capture, a screen capture. So I can click up here and I can record. I'm not going to record this because I'm currently recording my screen. But if you click on that, you can record this, and that's how I made the preview video for what you saw about the class project. Is I just recorded this. You can pop it on behance.com on a portfolio website. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can create this. We did this, in 20 minutes? We were able to create this effect. You can even spend more time and do like a real UX UI case study and design an entire mobile layout if you want. But just wanted to kind of showcase the glass morphism frosted glass look. So I hope you enjoyed this quick project and that you can really start looking into design trends for 2021.